Good afternoon. This is a hearing of the Chatham Conservation Commission being held on July 23rd, 2025, in accordance with the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Town of Chatham Wetlands Protection Bylaw and Regulations. My name is Karen Latin, and I serve as the chair. Today's hearing is being broadcast live on Xfinity Channel 1072 and is being recorded on the on-demand archives available for the on the town's website. It's being conducted in person, by phone, and by video conference. The agenda, instructions on how to attend, and copies of documents for review are posted on the town's website. To all participants, whether attending by phone or online, please remain muted unless you've been recognized by the chair. When recognized, please identify yourself for the record. If you're attending by phone, you can mute and unmute by using *6. If you're online and you are not a commissioner, please keep your camera turned off unless you have been recognized. Indicate that you wish to speak by using the raised hand feature. So that we have a record of a quorum, I will now ask each commissioner to indicate their presence. Vice Chair Paul Johnson.
Present.
Elise Gordon.
Present.
Janet Williams.
Present.
Eric Hilbert.
Present.
Bob Del Vecchio.
Present.
And I'm here. We've established that we have a quorum. Are there any announcements or any requests today for future items? I do have one announcement. Janet actually attended a MACC Lunch and Learn last Wednesday. There's another tomorrow being offered by MACC. It's about the Massachusetts READY Act, and it's going to affect RNOIs and wetlands and all sorts of things. And there's a limited amount of time to look at it and offer thoughts on it to, obviously, the legislative body. And we can do it through MACC. So Janet put the document. It's 99 pages. It's lovely reading. If you need any help falling asleep, it will help you. But it's all in the on our site. It's under something titled MA Ready Act. Janet, do you want to add anything?
No, it's just that it's fast-tracked because it was introduced as emergency legislation.
Yes.
So it is scheduled, the end of the comment period is July 29th, and I think it's scheduled for a vote shortly thereafter. It amends about a dozen or more existing statutes, including Chapter 91 for waterways and the Wetlands Protection Act, and it could have a significant impact on how we operate. I don't know that, whether we're going to do anything, but MACC is having another lunch and learn tomorrow. If you want, did you get an email from them?
You all should
with the
have
registration?
gotten the email. I can forward the email.
Karen will forward it. You just have to click the button and register. They're going to repeat the presentation and answer questions. So if you want to get up to speed really quickly in about an hour, that's the way to do it. And
Janet did put the slides from the presentation last Wednesday in the same spot. So, and she put some notes that she had taken when she got in. So if anybody is interested, can attend, it would be good because it is going to affect all of us going forward if it's voted in.
I assume it will be.
I assume so. So it's good to have sort of a heads up of what the state might be doing that we'll have to react to. Anything else anybody has besides that? Okay. Paul, are there any announcements for any continuances today?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Yes, today we have several continuances. 186 Strong Island Road will be continued to September 10th, 2025. They haven't filed with ZBA yet. 237 and 263 Woodland Way will be continued to August 13th, 2025, because they have a hearing with ZBA on 6/26. 20 L Street will be continued to August 27th, 2025. They have a ZBA hearing on the 14th of August. And 91 Gillis Road will be continued to August 13th. Needs to file with ZBA. And finally, 325 Fox Hill Road will be continued to August 13th. They need to file with ZBA.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
At this point, Paul, our conservation agent, will now lead us through the agenda.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In addition to those continuances, we have several I have to read real quickly that will be scheduled for August 13th, 2025. 42 Harborview Lane, Keith S. Sharon, 212 Qualified Trust, map 161, parcel 22-M2, SE10 3743. Project is proposed beach nourishment, 54 Harborview Lane, Dune A. Foster, 212 Revocable Trust, map 16I, parcel 21-M1, DEP number SE10 3744. Project is proposed beach nourishment, 202 Lime Hill Road, Lime Hill 222 Trust, map 12E, parcel 4-B6, DEP number SE10 3746. Project is proposed elevated catwalk, maintenance of an existing path and mitigation. Lot 4, Cockle Cove Road, Dean Rybeck, map 5C, parcel J4, DEP number SE10 3740. Construction of a single-family dwelling driveway within the buffer zone to a coastal bank and removal of a driveway within land subject to coastal storm flowage. 149 Pennicott Road, Christopher Rhinesmith, trustee, map 16S, parcel 1, DEP, I don't have a DEP number. Demolition of a portion of an existing dwelling, relocation of a historic portion of dwelling, and construction of a new dwelling in the buffer zone to a coastal bank. Finally, 314 Cockle Cove Road, Scott and Karna Daly, map 5C, parcel 4, DEP number SE10 3739. Project is after the fact construction of a stone retaining wall and construction of a new footpath within the buffer zone to a coastal bank and riverfront area. Those matters will be continued to August 13th.
Thank you. Okay, could we please have one motion for all of those for the continuance?
Yeah, I move that we continue 42 Harborview Lane, 54 Harborview Lane, 202 Lime Hill Road, Lot 4 Cockle Cove Road, 149 Pennicott Road, and 314 Cockle Cove Road to the meeting on August 13th, 2025.
Second.
Okay, Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Janet,
Aye.
Elise?
Aye.
And I say aye. Okay, the next, Paul, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next on the agenda are requested orders of conditions. The first one is 76 Marshview Road, Mary Hope and Robert N. Hyphenstein, map 8C, parcels S72, DEP number SE10 3721. Construction of an addition and deck within the footprint of an existing deck. All construction within the buffer zone to a coastal bank. It was continued from February 26, 2025, and I do not believe they have filed with ZBA yet, so we shouldn't probably discuss the order.
And we won't. Thank you.
Next one is...
Wait, I think he wants to comment.
I'm sorry, David, I didn't see you snuck up on me there.
Sorry.
All right.
David Clark for the record. Crystal asked me about this one yesterday, and I said, Attorney Litchfield's out of town. I can't find out where he's at with filing, so I asked to be continued to the next meeting.
That one's full. I have 4 orders, and I have, I think, 7 NOIs, and so it's so full that we need to continue it
How about the
to
first meeting in September?
August 27th we could do.
He asked for...
September.
Okay.
September's fine.
Perfect. September 10th or 24th?
Thank you. The 10th is,
Okay, thanks.
we'll have a date certain by then.
So 9/10. Okay, if we could have a motion, please.
I move that we continue 76 Marshview Road to the meeting on September 10th, 2025.
Second.
Great. Okay, Paul.
Next on the agenda is another request for an order of conditions, 734 Fox Hill Road, Willis Barton Row.
We didn't vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Boy, I'm really, sorry.
We need to vote.
Yeah, we didn't vote.
Okay.
Okay, Elise.
Aye.
Janet.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
Eric.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
And I say aye. Obviously, it's been a long day already. Oh, okay, next one, sorry.
We've only been here 5 minutes.
It's been a long day. That's
Okay.
not a good thing.
Next on the agenda is a requested order of conditions. The address is 734 Fox Hill Road, Willis Barton Row. Is the applicant map 12M, parcel W1, DEP number SE 103731, site redevelopment. It was continued from May 14th, 2024 and June 11th, 2025. The ZBA scheduled for 7/24, and I believe Mr. Riley's here. for some-
Good afternoon, Bill Riley on behalf of Bart Rowe and his wife Lynn. We have the draft of your order, and
But we're not, I don't think we're going to be discussing it today because it has to be continued because you haven't seen ZBA. You're scheduled for that for the, tomorrow,
yeah,
correct?
correct.
So can we,
Well,
okay, go ahead.
we have several major changes we would like to make. So even if all we do is discuss it without taking any votes, we'd like to bring those matters to your attention.
Okay,
The principal one has to do with the hardscape located on the property. Initially, we had said, and Sean Riley's here also, and there he is.
yes.
Can you put the plan up on the, no?
Well, we're doing an order.
Oh.
So
Well,
he's,
I don't know, Sean, can you put the plan up?
If there's changes.
There you go.
but if there's changes, then we would have had to receive them.
Okay, so what we discussed last time was having pervious, removing the asphalt and replacing with pervious material. And Sean and I had discussed with you that really we were only concerned about having something firm like pavers on the steeper part of the driveway. The Rowe family has decided they would prefer not to use shell or gravel, and they would like to use something like a pervious concrete. The reason they don't want to use shell or gravel is, they think it's tough to walk on.
So right now, the order does say in the findings, it says the pervious pavers may be installed on the driveway where the slope is greatest, between EL6 and EL10. So isn't that where you're talking about?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, all right,
So are you saying that they don't want to use shell or crushed gravel or a combination of both any place?
right. Well, I think they could use some of it up. Okay, so, yeah, this is the steeper slope in
Right.
this area. All right, so they thought about it for a long time, and they would, oh, that's good, I like that, Sean. He's a very talented guy, that Sean.
Yeah.
We're cousins, well, not really, but, so what they would prefer, after long, hard thinking about it, is to do something like a pervious concrete, so they have a single surface and something that's not particularly painful to walk on, I mean, from their perspective. So that's one change we'd like to have made. Another change is that,
So did you submit a new plan that says these things that you're trying to change? Or are you thinking that we're discussing it now and nothing needs to be?
Through the chair, I can clarify. Yeah, so we'd suggest that the plan be approved as submitted. The pavers were a special condition that were added into the order. The plan actually shows the entire existing paved driveway to be converted to a permeable surface without any specification of what that surface would be. So we're not asking for a change from what was submitted. It would be a change for the condition that was implemented. And the
Okay.
same with the other two conditions that were put into the order, reflect changes to what was shown on this plan. And
Okay,
I'll let Bill continue.
Do you have the numbers of the special conditions that you're talking about and you're asking us to
Yes.
change?
Yes. So on page
Page
11F,
11C,
you wanna start
number
with C?
3.
yeah,
That's under findings.
All right.
11E,
Yeah, because the special conditions are further
Special conditions.
down.
yeah, 11E,
number
number
two.
2.
On the special
Yeah.
conditions.
So you're asking that, I mean, we haven't discussed, this is a change to what was agreed when we said we'd go to an order, so, I mean, how does everybody feel about doing this at this point? I mean,
Well, we just wanted, you know, we understand that, you know, we're not going to take a final vote today. We
no,
just
you're not
wanted to
taking a vote, yeah.
let you know the concerns of the family. And as Sean has indicated, you know, we're still proposing that the surfaces be pervious. It's just that they would prefer to have a consistent surface like a pervious concrete, understanding that there's additional maintenance for that to make sure it continues to be effective.
I've personally seen the pervious concrete used, because being in the, landscape business for a long time, and it's excellent. I can't say enough about it. It works fabulous, especially on the slope. I don't know, why you would need the whole parking area down below. If you walk barefoot on, you could have pea gravel down there, but
Some people have tougher feet than others,
Yes,
that's all I
yeah.
can tell you.
but it does work excellent. I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen demonstrations where it's really unbelievable. They dump out hundreds of gallons of water and the people standing 3 or 4 feet away and they don't even get their feet wet.
Right.
I got a
Go ahead, Bob.
question,
Please.
Karen. So it was start at the slope, the top of the slope, and work its way all the way down to the back?
Well,
Or just the slope itself?
He wants the whole thing.
The whole thing, even the
Not-
front?
No, not the front. It starts from the top of the hill down and the parking area.
Everything is permeable, so that means.
I don't know what, Sean, we've discussed this
That's
several
correct.
times with the family, and I'm not clear about the front.
Well, it's more permeable than cobblestone, that's for sure.
Yes.
It is, and it's actually more permeable than pea stone because it's
Yeah.
set on
Can we
hard
turn
base,
the
so.
volume up for him, or can you turn up your volume, Sean?
Well,
Oh, sorry.
I can,
Why don't you just
I've
put these
heard
in
'em.
writing and save some time?
Yeah, you have to go to zoning anyway.
yeah, I mean, it's just, my concern is that you're coming to us with changes that weren't discussed when we said it could go to an order. So I'm just trying to make sure you still have to go to ZBA. We're not voting on it today. It's just, this isn't what had been presented to us previously.
Well, there were
So,
also things that were inserted in the conditions that were never discussed. For instance,
okay,
the use of the garage, we indicated that the garage would be used, in part at least, for storage of boats and things. It ended up being a prohibition against any mechanical device. I mean, they might want to park cars down there, they may want to store a boat that's got a motor on it down there, and those things are all prohibited. In number 5,
yeah,
on page
I see
11F.
that. It says non-mechanized watercraft and associated accessories, no automobiles may be stored in this garage.
Yeah, see, I think the changes
Trying to
that
see.
we want to discuss with you today really don't change the impact of the work that's being proposed. In other words, we never discussed not parking a car in the garage. So, and we were really caught by surprise when we read the order.
The other item, Bill, is the rinse station being located outside of the 50-foot buffer. We had discussed that at the first hearing to try to take a look at that. We came back at the second hearing and stated that we reviewed the floor plan windows for that side of the house with the architect, and it wasn't viable to move that to a different location. And that was the end of the discussion that we had. And then it appeared as a condition to move it.
We're very, usually at least, very against rinse stations within the NDZ. So that's probably why that went in there. It's not, from what I see, I think I know where the rinse, no, I don't
It's
know.
along
where
on the south side of the house, about
Oh, that's right.
a third of
there
the
it
way
is.
up.
And we had hoped that it could be moved toward the garage and had expressed that, I do recall.
Right,
It's-
and I think it has to do with the placement of windows in the design. Is that right, Sean?
That's correct. We did go back and speak with the architect and tried to shift it further along that line. And then we get into the equipment. Once we get out of the 50, we get into the adjacent to the equipment area. And we did put a limitation, or you did put a limitation on that, the rinse area to be used without any soaps or
Right,
cleaning items. Any of the runoff would be directed down into what would be now hopefully a pervious concrete driveway. So it would filter down through the slope here, the lawn, to the driveway, any of the water that would run down there. So we wouldn't see that there would be any impact from the rinse water in this case.
At this point, I think I'd like to ask the commissioners how they feel about all that's being discussed today and whether we need to continue this discussion about the things that you want changed and what we had written as the order. Because it seems it's the rinse station, I don't know, I was under the impression it would be moved. How does everybody feel at this point?
I have, I have in my notes that the rinse station would be moved.
Right, that's,
I don't have any
see.
problem with the pervious concrete. It sounds like
No,
a very cool
but-
thing.
But I'm getting concerned that
Yeah.
we're now,
But I think we need to make sure we know
these
what we're
aren't
doing.
small modifications.
Right.
Well, in reality, they actually are.
Well, but the rinse station's not a small it's a structure that's within the NDZ, and there is runoff, and I understand it's a rinse station and we have the conditions, but not everybody follows, unfortunately, all of our conditions, and we can't stand there and police. And so assuring us that never, it would just be used with water, it makes, I know many rinse stations that aren't just used for that. So I just want to know, how does everybody feel about making changes like this at this point, and whether we need to discuss it further? Anybody have opinions?
I personally don't have a problem with it. I mean, if the windows are in the way, and, I mean,
Okay.
that's how I feel. And I'm all for the pervious. If you're gonna spend the money to do
Right.
that, God bless you.
I think that's not, it just says, I've checked, and all it says is that it'll be permeable, or pervious. Bob?
I mean, can we move the windows?
Yeah, see, now we're back to discussing,
I mean, if you put the rinse station right outside the 50, it'd still be right
Yeah.
on that same side of the house.
And believe me, I get not wanting a rinse station below a window. My uncle had one below a window, and I wasn't exactly thrilled knowing people were sitting up there when I showered. But, as Bob said, I don't know.
So we
But
could,
now
through
we're
the chair,
getting
we could.
into
No, I
we could
more of
take
a
the- yeah.
discussion than saying this part of the order just needs to be tweaked a bit.
Well,
This is
Through
a,
the,
from our
the
perspective,
chair,
we think it is because whether, in terms of, where the water goes after it's been rinsing somebody.
oh,
know,
I
so
get
it's
it.
still gonna go down to the same location. So, I mean, and as a structure, I understand, you're concerned about the structure, but, we're really talking about two legs. I mean, the thing's up against the house. There are two legs supporting the walls of it.
No, I
mean,
get
it's-
it.
I mean,
It's more
Sure.
what is being done in the rinse station, I think, for us.
Karen, another alternative would be to plant around the rinse station with like clethra or some shrubs that would uptake the effluent.
you're happy to do that, yeah. We happen to have Teresa Sprague here as
So,
well.
so now we're truly getting into
No,
a
no, I
big
know, but-
Yeah.
discussion.
but,
Well, but
Madam
I'm
Chair.
trying, but Bill, I'm
Madam
just
Chair.
trying to figure out if we need to do, this is a bit more detailed than just saying, making tweaks to an order. And so I'm just concerned, this is taking, we have a very heavy agenda, and this is our concern, and we were saying, we're gonna have to limit everybody to 10 minutes,
Yeah, but
so.
Madam Chair, we're not asking you to take a vote on it today.
No,
We're
I
gonna
know you're not,
raise
but
the
you're
issues.
asking us to make a determination on something that will, it's removing one of our conditions, and it's a condition that we wrote in with the understanding, and several of us have, that it was said that the rinse station would be moved outside of the NDZ.
I know, but if,
Can I-
Madam Chair, with all
Bill,
due
can I make a
respect,
suggestion?
I think that you're, the items that we're discussing are minor in understanding there's certain importance to them, but they're minor with regard to the zoning aspect of the case. So
I get it.
I don't think your letter to the zoning board has to change.
No, I'm not saying it does. I'm saying that we're getting into more than what normally takes place when we do an order. Saying the placement of a rinse station, that's a discussion we usually have as a commission with you all before we even write the order, and we thought we had that discussion. I'm just trying, first of all, to manage how we deal with orders, and this seems like a change more than, oh, can you modify this wording, or, change the wording for the driveway so it's not, cobble, it's not stone or shell, it's going to be,
Just pervious.
pervious cement. That's not a major change. That's not an issue. We seem to be having a discussion, a longer discussion about the rinse station. That's my one concern. So it's not with the driveway,
Okay,
that's why I wanted to see how the commissioners feel, because there are 6 of us, not just me. So, I've heard a bit from this side, including planting, which might be a good option. I want to hear what this side has to say. Anybody?
I just recall on the last meeting that there was no mention of putting automobiles on the
No.
backside of the garage. That was just for boats. Because
that's
you have
what
a
we
garage
talked
up
about,
top.
but it's still a garage.
Yeah, but the argument was that once we changed that from asphalt to pervious, that it was just going to be non-motorized vehicles.
That we never discussed non-motorized vehicles down there.
Well, but you have a new garage in the front of the house for
And-
cars, so there's no reason to put a car down there, right? Let me just say my problem is that I'm looking at it, it's at elevation 6.
Right, and
Yes.
So it's really, it's below flood elevation. So there's a real risk to putting anything in there that can cause contamination if and when the water comes in there.
And it was stated that the lower level was uninhabitable and you were trying to be flood compliant. And flood compliant means no mechanized.
I disagree. We've never had,
Yeah.
we've had many garages in the floodplain, and all of them are used, as far as I know, all of them are used to park motor vehicles. And none of them ever plan on leaving the motor vehicle there if there's gonna be a storm.
We've
mean,
actually
so-
written that into some orders, that if there's a named storm coming, they have to and that's just an unenforceable, in my view, dumb condition, because,
I know, but they're-
requires somebody to get there and move it out.
The property owner's gonna wanna do it to protect the vehicle, the value of the vehicle. So, we don't mind if you wanna continue it, so we can have a further discussion. We just wanted to bring these
Yeah,
matters to your
I
attention.
I feel like
Let's make a list of
there
all the
needs to be
issues.
more of a discussion about this. And so we could continue it to, I think it's August 27th, and have the discussion, and then once we come to an agreement, we could have the order's written, so we just have to modify it. Maybe we could also discuss the order on that day. If not, it would be September 10th. That would issue the order. And once we get to the point of agreeing on these points.
All right, thank you. That's fine.
Thanks, Bill. Sorry.
Do we have a full list of the issues?
We have the garage.
Uh-huh.
If you could mark on the plan, Sean, that, what the driveway will be and where the permeable cement will be. And then we have the rinse station. Those are the three things,
Well, there's one other technical thing,
okay?
which, so, on the general conditions, 11 and 12, this is a pre-78 building, and the building's not being enlarged in any way towards the water. And 11 and 12 prohibit shore protection, which a pre-78 building's entitled to at least ask for. In the past.
11 and 12 under where?
General conditions has to do with prohibiting any engineering
Oh, at the
structure.
very end.
Yeah. And under a previous chairperson, sitting to your right, she used to make a change to another paragraph that, I can't remember what it was now, just know that when I raised the issue, we would just change it.
Well, we sometimes deleted those two, particularly in cases where there was already a pre-existing shorefront protection system in place. So we just took them out because they were not relevant. There is no existing protection,
I know, but it's a pre-78 building.
right?
All right, why don't I leave you with that? 'Cause I-
Okay, we've got the four things. We'll continue it to, it's August 27th,
All right, thank you.
and then we can continue with it. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
I move that we continue 734 Fox Hill Road to the meeting on August 27th.
Second?
Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Janet,
Aye.
Elise,
Aye.
and I say aye. Okay, Paul, the next.
Next on the agenda, Madam Chair, is a submitted request for a field change. The address is 0 and 54 Barcliff Avenue, Extension, Town of Chatham is the applicant, map 16F, parcels Piers and 7, DEP number SE 10-3555, install sheet metal, reconstruct existing timber stairs and landing, add walkway from upper parking lot. And the field change request is to add a proposed 22-foot-long concrete foundation wall to the scope of the existing order. The wall ID is intended to prevent undermining of the asphalt in the paved parking lot, which has been experiencing erosion during storm surges. There's no ZBA required, and I believe Fiona from Foth is here. There she is, okay. I can put the I can put the existing conditions up on the screen, Fiona, or you can do it. It's up to you. Do you want me to do it?
Sure, yeah, that works, thank you.
How are you? You can go ahead.
Great, well, thank you for having us. I'm also joined by my colleague Alex Mora to talk a little bit more about the structure and design. And I just noticed Catherine Ricks is also on. Thank you, Catherine. This is for the south jog of the Chatham Fish Pier. And as you have it up on the screen, we have an existing order of conditions that has been extended to 2027. And we are looking to add a concrete foundation wall, as you mentioned, in the location near the existing parking lot, which was not included in the original order. So we are just looking to give you some information about further information about the wall. And as my understanding is that it's an administrative process. So we can answer any questions that you may have as well. Alex, are you available or no? I'm not sure if you have the sections or if you would like me to pull them up.
Happy or not, I do not have the sections. If you have them available, please pull them up.
Okay. I can pull up the proposed conditions plan that shows the wall. Let me just share. This is the project site, 0 Barcliff Ave extension. This is showing where the existing south jog is and our proposed walkway. And the foundation wall is on the western portion, right along the existing parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the field change request description, does anyone have any questions on that so far?
Let me check with everybody. Anybody have questions at this point?
Yeah, I do. Is it due to the scarping that's happening from the existing wall that you have to continue it?
Yeah, so this is to bolster that area. They are experiencing erosion. So this would be to prevent that from happening further.
Well, to that area will prevent it, but won't it just scarp behind, continue scarping up the bank? I mean, yeah, I guess you have to do it, but it's probably going to be a continuous problem, wouldn't you think?
I would like to say something. The wall itself basically is continuing the existing sheet pile bulkhead. And what is happening is that when the storm comes, the wave action literally hits the wall and continues following the wall up to the dune that is on the very left of this wall. The erosion of sand is going to be basically controlled in a way that the pavement of the parking area will not be affected. But of course, there may be some loss of sand during storm events in front of this wall. And for that purpose, we're going to protect the sand layers below or in front of the wall with a marine mattress. The marine mattress will be roughly at the same elevation as the foundation of this wall, and it will be covered with sand. What this has the purpose or intent is basically of minimize the amount of sand lost due to these storm events. But this is something that will happen with very significant storm events.
Okay, thank you. Do you have further? Okay, anybody? Bob?
Hello, that's on the property line between Chatham Bars Inn and the town, correct?
I'm sorry, I missed the first part. The between the,
Yeah, that.
what in the town?
Yeah, where this is cited, it's the property line between Chatham Bars Inn property and the town of Chatham, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It is along the, and it's along the easement.
Okay, will you,
It's going to be within the property line. The property lines are those shown at the edge of the walkway, and then of course goes into the pavement area. The wall will not extend past the property line that is shown right now. The dimension 22 shows the distance from the end of the existing wall and the property line.
okay, can you plant, can you add nourishment sand plus beach grass after you extend that wall?
Fiona,
Yes, I can have another discussion with you with the specific plantings. So yeah, I can get back to you on that.
Because that would further protect that area, especially during a storm event.
Yes, no, that makes sense. We have just received the Chapter 91 license, and so we haven't gone forward with specific contractor or anything. So that can definitely be included in the discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Paul, go ahead. Okay. Right, well, that's what I was going to say, and you had to have your phone on, your mic on, but it would, if we approve this field change today, part of it would be that beach grass is to be planted. It wouldn't be a discussion later. Otherwise, we don't approve the field change today if you want to discuss it further, which I don't think makes sense. So just so you know, that would be a part of the approval, is the addition of the
Okay.
beach grass and sand.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, then I think we can go to a motion, please.
I move that we approve the field change request for 0 and 54 Bar Cliff Avenue Extension as modified.
Second.
Okay, Elise,
Aye.
Janet,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
and I say aye. So you're all set, and that will be added to the field change approval.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Paul, the next.
Next on the agenda, Madam Chair, is a submitted request for determination of applicability. The address is 21 Captain Cove Lane. Kevin and Patricia Barry are the applicants, map 10L, parcel 10-C2, R25-8, remove and replace existing fence. It was continued from June 11, 2025. There's no ZBA required.
Okay. Who do we have? Chuck? Are
Chuck
you-
Rowland, Cape and Islands Engineering. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good. I'm representing the client at 21 Captain's Cove Lane. I've sent in the revised plan. I hope that you've had a chance to take a look at it. If you'd like, I'm going to share my screen.
That'd be terrific.
I'm looking for the button to do that. Ah. Let me know when it pops up.
It did, thank you.
Great, so in front of you is the revised plan incorporating your comments from the last hearing, which I greatly appreciate. The feedback. What we've done is shift the proposed fence back to get as close as we can to the stairs coming down. We'll be tying into the stairs just south of the planting bed, running along just outside into the lawn area, outside of this retaining wall, and we'll be jogging back up closer to the larger retaining wall, staying just west of this pine tree and then just east of this pine tree. We have a couple of gates that we've shown here for access to both in and out. We've provided a wildlife corridor between the hedge and the fence on the south side. And obviously we've left the north side of the property completely open. So there's a fairly large wildlife corridor. So there's about 47 feet to the actual, what I call an actual wetland resource, the salt marsh, and then 22 feet to the regulatory wetland, which is the coastal bank and the flood zone. So I believe that I've incorporated all the comments that you had brought up during the last hearing. Additionally, I'd like to point out that this is landward of the abutters fence. They have, I believe, a stockade fence up here and a chain link fence that goes, I think, to about within 10 feet of the coastal bank. So we are landward of that, so we don't believe that we are adding any impediment to the area, to wildlife, and we'll be containing, obviously this, I think we discussed earlier, this fence is for containing my client's dogs, and so we are keeping them out of the resource when we have them up in the fenced-in area. And then I'll show you the last plan that I showed, which was just right up to the coastal bank and a lot closer to the resource. With that, I'm happy to take any questions you may have.
All right, thank you. Anyone, questions? You did listen, so thank you for pulling back the fence.
And adding
And-
a 4-inch.
Yeah, and making it all the chain link, so, and the gap for wildlife, so we very much appreciate it.
And I take it from the fact that it's not showing on the plan that you are removing the proposed, plastic, vinyl fence along the side.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
out.
I should have said that.
That's
that you
okay. No,
wanted to-
you did listen to us, and it's much smaller. It provides for wildlife passage. The vinyl fence is gone. It's still in the NDZ, but, I do recognize that a good part of the property is. This was approved a long time ago, so they don't really have an option but to fence in that area, and you've made it as small as possible, so I'm okay.
I don't recall, the fence you're taking out, wasn't it like hard to find? It was sort of buried?
Underneath the vegetation.
Yeah.
It's a small
so
split rail, yeah.
the only thing I question is whether it should be removed, whether it's going to do more damage removing it than leaving it. So what are your thoughts on that?
It'll rot away. It's a cedar
Exactly.
fence. So if
I mean, removing it, will you disturb the area more than if you left it and let it rot? Is really what I'm asking.
we can leave it. I don't foresee either one of the options being very disruptive.
Okay.
Maybe
if
maybe
it-
if we want, we can say like if removes by hand only and not and with
Right,
minimal
I just am
disturbance,
wondering,
and
because
not to.
it was so hard to even find it. And so that's why I'm asking, because it wasn't obviously, it didn't jump out at me, that I'm wondering if whether we just leave it and, then, and you put in the other and call it a day. So how does
Perfect,
everybody
we
feel
can-
about that?
I like that idea.
I was gonna say, compromise, at least, you can, if the rails are easy to
Yeah, I
move,
mean.
leave the post. The post will probably just break off anyway if you,
Exactly. So yeah, you could remove the rails if they're easy to get to, but, since I had a hard time finding it, I just was curious how everybody else felt. Bob?
There's another fence though, too, correct? There are two fences, existing fences, post and rail?
There's one smaller one on the north side.
And you're gonna,
They're both what I would call not split rail fence, but single rail fence. So essentially, it's just the top half and then the bottom half of a.
Right.
so if you remove the rails on
cedars.
both of them, that would be fine.
Perfect. Love it.
And the only other comment I had was the mitigation area. I saw a lot of invasives in the existing vegetation. And I think if you plant the mitigation plants, I think they're just going to get overtaken by the vines and so forth. There's porcelain berry in there and so forth, growing through all the existing vegetation. And I'm wondering whether you can go in and remove a lot of that, a lot of those invasives before you plant.
We're happy to remove them kind of in that general area. I don't think my client really wants to get into invasive management.
Okay, even if it's in that general area, because it doesn't make any sense to plant and then.
Sure, they're happy to remove. I'm an engineer. I'm just not a plant guy, but we're happy to remove the invasives in that area, which are usually fairly easy to recognize.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I think, does anybody else have any comments or questions? I think we could go to motion, please.
I move that we approve the request for determination of applicability with a -2 determination for cap 21 Captain Cove Lane as modified.
second.
Okay, Elise?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. Okay, thank you
I
very
really
much.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay, Paul, next one.
Now we've moved on, Madam Chair, to notices of intent. The first one on the agenda is 30 Pine Lane. The applicants are Michael, and I apologize for the mispronunciation. It's Tulia? Tulia Lynch. Lynch I have no problem with. Map 13J, parcel 6-G112B, EP number SC 103716. The proposed project is a screened porch, sunroom, and deck addition within the 50-foot buffer zone to a fragmented coastal bank and a 100-foot buffer to a bordering vegetated wetland, invasive plant management, native plant restoration, lawn reduction, mitigation plantings, and a kayak rack. It was continued from February 5th, 2025, and again on April 9th, 2025, and one more time, May 7th, 2025. ZBA approved the project on 7/10/25.
Thank you, and I will be recusing myself, so Paul is going to take over.
Thank you, Paul. Do any commissioners have any questions or comments on this property, seeing that we've talked about it a few times?
I just want to add that the kayak rack was a nice mitigation offer. That's new. I think this has been going on a long time, and I hopefully will approve this.
Anyone else?
Teresa, are there any other changes? I'm not seeing anything.
No, there have been no changes. Basically, we're just back because we had continued simply because we
ZBA.
needed to get ZBA approval.
No, we were okay.
Okay, I think we're ready for,
So we want to schedule it for an order
Could we do
27,
27th?
Yeah, that
or
sounds good.
then
August 27th?
Perfect, that would be great, thank you.
Okay, I move that we continue 30 Pine Lane for an order of conditions to August 27th.
Second.
Call.
Elise,
Aye.
Janet,
Aye?
Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
and I say aye.
And I abstain.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's okay. Okay, Paul, next one, please.
Next one is another notice of intent. The address is 186 Strong Island Road, David and Judith Adonia, map 13M, parcel 48, EP number SE 103724. Project is construction of an 8x18 swimming pool, an expansion of an existing pool, seasonal rollout boardwalk, seasonal access steps, and installation of mitigation. The applicant's requested a continuance to September 10th, 2025. It needs ZBA approval, and an application has not been filed yet.
All right, thank you. Before we do the continuance, I am hoping that there will be an application with ZBA before that September 10th. So, go ahead, Paul.
I move that we continue 186 Strong Island Road to the meeting on September 10th, 2025.
Second.
Bob?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Elise?
Aye.
And I say aye. Okay, the next, Paul, please.
I have to look up when you say Paul, 'cause-
I know, it's gotten, should I say Paul J?
Okay, next on the agenda is a notice of intent for 237 and 263 Woodland Way. The owner is Woodland Way Nominee Trust, map 11K, parcels HC 48 and HC 49, DEP number SE 103734. Removal of 2 boathouses, construction of 1 new boathouse, and access stairs within a coastal bank. It was continued from June 25th, 2025, and the applicants requested a continuance to August 13th, 2025. ZBA approved the project on 6/26.
Okay, could we
I
have,
move that we continue 237 and 263 Woodland Way to the meeting on August 13th, 2025.
Second.
okay, Bob?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Elise?
Aye.
And I say aye. Paul, next one.
Next on the agenda is another notice of intent, 20 L Street, Karen Lascaco, map 10F, parcel R9, DEP number SE 103730. Project is remove and replace a pond access stairs. It was continued from May 7, 2025, and the applicants requested a continuance to August 27, 2025. ZBA is going to be on 8/14.
Okay,
I move that we continue 20 L Street to the meeting on August 27th, 2025.
Second.
okay, Elise?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. Okay, the next.
Next on the agenda, Madam Chair, is another notice of intent. 22 Taylor's Pond Road is the address, Dean Rybeck, and is the trustee, map 5C, parcel J5, DEP number SE 103741. Demolition of an existing dwelling, construction of a new dwelling and driveway within land subject to coastal storm flowage and a coastal bank. Additionally, construction of a sewage disposal system within the buffer zone to a coastal bank. This is a new application, and ZBA is scheduled for 8/28.
Good afternoon, Bill Riley and Dave Clark on behalf of Dean Rybeck. Dean is here also.
Great, thank you.
So Dave's going to start.
David Clark, for the record, of Clark Engineering. Also, we have Mike Segan from Richter and Segan is on the line. This is a demolition and rebuild of an existing dwelling. The dwelling predates the Wetlands Protection Act by several decades. Mr. Rybeck's family has owned the property for quite a long time. And they also own the abutting parcel to the north and the vacant lot to the east, which we thought was going to be on today's meeting, but got kicked to August 13th. as I said, it's a demolition rebuild. The existing house is within the floodplain, also on a coastal bank. It meets the technical definition of a coastal bank under the Wetlands Protection Act. I believe this area was substantially regraded when the house was built, so the adjacent landform to the north of the house constitutes a coastal bank at this point in time. The house is served by cesspools because of the age and the property never changing hands. It was never upgraded. So part of the project is also to install a Title V system, a new Title V system with IA technology to reduce nutrients that can impact the pond. As stated, part of the existing house is within the floodplain. The whole lower level of the house that's within the floodplain is partly finished and is used as living space. Because of the regulatory requirements, that living space has to be given up because you can't have finished space within the floodplain. So there's a loss of over 1,000 square feet of living space when we go forward with this project. To mitigate some of that, we're showing an increase in the footprint of the building. And I believe that the gross floor area of what's being proposed is less than what's there now. So there is some concessions being made on the loss of living space due to this demo rebuild. Looking at the site coverage numbers, obviously, we're increasing in the 0 to 50 and the 50 to 100. And a lot of that is because we're moving the house back out of the floodplain. There's over 550 square feet of house and deck that is being eliminated from the floodplain. Another aspect of the project is that the existing driveway off of Taylor's Pond Road starts off above the floodplain, but then dips down into the floodplain when it comes onto the property. Because we're developing the adjacent lot at the same time, there's an opportunity to move that driveway out of the floodplain. So the new driveway and parking areas will be totally outside the floodplain. This gives us an opportunity to restore the section of the Taylor's Pond Road, Town Landing, that the existing driveway is in. That area that's in the floodplain will be restored as part of this project. As I stated, the Title V system will have a IA component to it. This allows us to reduce the amount of nitrogen. Taylor's Pond is a salt pond and is susceptible to nitrogen. Other aspects of the project are largely associated with access to the house, access to the lower yard area, and we're also providing access from this property to the Rybeck property to the north. That's all on the landscape plan. As looking at the performance standards, we are reducing site coverage or building coverage within the floodplain. So there's a positive to that. As far as the coastal bank is concerned and the buffer zone of the coastal bank, as I stated earlier, we believe that the coastal bank it was kind of created when the house was constructed back in, I believe, the early 60s or late 50s. And so we feel that because there's a house between the subject property and the pond, the bank serves very little purpose other than being a vertical buffer to storm coastal storms. no matter where we site a house or how big the house is on the property, that issue can't be overcome because the bank goes through almost the middle of the property. So we believe that there's no not mitigation, there's no alternative that would have a less impact on the coastal bank. We're not encroaching any further to the existing bank to the north. The bank to the south is quite a ways away, and there will be no impacts certainly to that bank. But we're not altering the landform along that existing coastal bank. And so we believe that the structure itself will have no impact on the bank's ability to not allow it to continue as being a vertical buffer to storms. That's the engineering side of it. Mike is here to talk about the landscaping. If you have any questions on the engineered site plan, be happy to answer them.
I think let's hear everything and then we can go to questions. So thank you.
Oh, Mike, Mike, you want to do your,
Yes.
Sorry, Mike, you're muted. If it's possible for me to share my screen as well while Mike presents, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, good.
Sure.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yep. No problem.
Good afternoon, Mike Seegan with Richter and Seegan with the Landscape
speak up, Mike.
Architects.
Could you speak up a little bit? It's pretty
sure.
I'm
late.
having the same problem with all the speakers. I don't know if it's something that can be turned up here or.
It's your fault.
Yeah, I don't normally have an issue, but we are the landscape architects on the project team, and with me is Rachel Meyer, who's running the controls and has worked with me on the project. I'll be presenting the site mitigation and planting plan for 22 Taylor's Pond Road, but as Dave mentioned, 4 Cockle Cove Road, which has a garage, is an integral part of the proposed plan. So we'd like to start with this overall plan, which combines both parcels, and were designed as one single cohesive landscape. And then I will separate out the data for in the information for 22 Taylor. With the house, well, first of all, the existing landscape immediately around 22 Taylor's Pond Road is characterized by mostly non-native ornamental plantings in areas of maintained lawns. With the house reconstruction and site improvements that Dave described, the entire, really, it's the entire parcel is going to be re-landscaped, redone, rebuilt with the new construction. This mitigation plan proposes restoration and mitigation plantings in the form of native plantings and lawn reduction within the coastal bank and buffer zone and invasive species.
I think we lost you.
Mike, sorry, you got muted, Mike. You're muted, Mike. You must have hit the button.
Okay.
The plan that's proposed here has invasive species management, coastal bank and buffer zone planting totaling 3,320 square feet, and that's sort of the bottom number in the chart. I know Dave didn't go over the chart, but this information, the statistics were from Clark Engineering. The bottom line is that we're required with the additional impacts required to add, there you go, thanks, Rachel. Approximately 3,241 square feet. If you go over to the proposed mitigation area shown in the green color, that totals more than that, 3,320 square feet. And it's made up of 2 distinct areas. The darker green on the bottom is a native wildflower meadow with a focus on pollinator attracting plants, which is a big focus of all our plans now. The second part of the mitigation area is a lighter green up top, which is a native grass shrub meadow containing a number of species that are, some of them are in the coastal area, a few on the northern part of the site, or I should say eastern part of the site, including bayberry, fragrant sumac, clethra, and arrowwood viburnum. So that's the makeup that is there as well. We are also proposing to locate an existing rail fence along the western property line. There's one there now. We're going to, it's a portion of that line. We're going to move it right over to the property line and extend it the full length along the property and along the mitigation area to clearly demarcate that area from the neighbor's driveway and lawn and various plantings that are directly to the west of that. Let's see now. With the fence extended, we'll also, I should mention, there's a native grass seeded path that's along that mitigation area that defines the mitigation area. And we're going to provide markers along that mark the mitigation extent. And whether those are boulders or bollards, et cetera, we'll provide markings. The balance of the plantings as you move up around, because the entire project essentially is in the 0 to 50 in the 50 to 100 foot regulated areas, is native, mostly native plant material. As you move up, first of all, behind the reconstructed house, adjacent to supporting the efforts of the pollinator plantings, but also moving up along the north and south property lines, all native plants all around the foundation and extending up around the garage as well. There are approximately 3,320 square feet of those areas, and that includes 512 square feet of mitigation in the town-owned parcel where we've slightly realigned the driveway. There are 11 existing pine trees, 2 existing oak trees on both properties that are flagged, that have been flagged out in the field, that will be removed, including the stumps. And these are in the area of the proposed driveway, garage, and house construction and grading on the property. There were also 3 dead or dying or badly damaged pines, if you've been out there, up in the very northwest corner of the parcel. And those will be removed prior to us installing the shrub meadow area. So overall, there'll be a total of 25 native tree plantings that will, within the regulated area, that will replace the 13 trees that are removed overall on the site. The existing driveway was also realigned, and a lot of attention was to keep that out of the flood zone, but also to do it in a way not to remove any trees in that front area. So there's a nice oak that's been preserved there and some pines. So we went to great pains to align that driveway to minimize any further disturbance in the town-owned land as you come in to the parcel. Invasive species on the site will be managed or removed. Temporary irrigation will be required for the first 2 or 3 growing seasons. We'll remove that after it's established. And we have an invasive species management plan that will be ongoing for the next 3 years as well. Rachel, if you can, I'm trying to move quick here because of the agenda, but if you go to the next plan, I just wanted to go over just the stats for, that's technically the application for 22 Taylor Road. Bottom right-hand corner of the chart. This chart is just for Taylor Road here with the calculations that Clark Engineering provided. We're required to have 2,043 square feet of mitigation area. The light green shows the amount that is in that area, just really for purposes of addressing the regulation of over that 2,096 square feet, which is that shrub and native grass area. The vast majority of plants at 22 Taylor's Pond Road are native species. I do want to make a quick comment that we have included some native cultivars, you notice in the plant list and in our calculations. Typically, we do that around the foundations of a house. This happens to be in the NDZ. And we understand now, after submitted, that this commission does not consider native species or the cultivars as native species. So we only have one cultivar that's in the NDZ. We will convert that to a native species to meet the 100% native requirement. And there's just a few plants in the 50 to 100 foot regulated area that need to be converted to achieve the minimum required 75% for native species. So I wanted to make that comment ahead of time that we'll make that adjustment. Again, in the Taylor Pond parcel, there are 6 pines and 1 oak to be removed, and those 3 dead or dying are very poor condition trees, pines in the upper northwest corner, and we're replacing the 9 trees to be removed with 15 native trees. Next, Rachel. This is the portion that's for Cockle Cove Road that I think will be formally presented, just so you can see how it fits into the master plan portion. The amount required for mitigation is 1,198 square feet, and we just earmarked for purposes of meeting the regulation 1,224 square feet, which is the size of that wildflower meadow in the mitigation area. In this particular parcel, which just kind of pokes into the upland review area, there are 3 pines and 1 existing oak that need to be removed, and there are 10 native species, tree species, that will replace the 4 that need to be removed. Next, Rachel. So I tried to move quick here, but that includes an overview that both the combined site plan and the 2 individual parcels that were really designed, as I mentioned, as one cohesive landscape compared to the existing property with very little native vegetation and large areas of maintained lawn. The proposed plan is a significant improvement from an environmental or ecological perspective with much more diverse landscape that is dominated by many new native plantings that have been proposed. So that concludes my end of the presentation.
Okay, thank you. One thing, I have 2 mitigation and planting plans. One includes the Cockle Cove Road. I'm assuming that the one that is just labeled 22 Taylor's Pond is the one we should be using for this NOI, am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then, just so you know, for the Cockle Cove, which I believe we hear at the next meeting, we'll need a separate plan for that one. so that we can tell what mitigation goes with which property?
Yes, and I
Okay.
believe I just presented that, and it will be more formally
Great.
dealt with.
Okay,
It's
I
been
just-
submitted.
To save
Yeah.
time next time.
Yeah.
And so I assume all the notes that are on the 22 Taylor's Pond Road mitigation, they seem to be the same, and I was checking as you were talking, well, I guess they aren't the same. No, okay, good. So there's really 8 pine trees and 1 oak that are coming out of Taylor's Pond. And that's it, correct? Not, because the other one says 11 and 2. So I'm assuming the other,
That's for the total parcel.
okay.
That's for both
I just wanted
parcels.
to make sure.
Yes.
And then before I hand it over to everybody, I'm a little confused on this, the one that's marked sewage disposal system plan, which I think is also the site plan.
Yep.
Even though it says it's just the disposal plan. You say in the 50 to 100 that the proposed work is covering 75% of the outer aura?
Yes.
That's,
Now, that number includes the roof overhang.
so that's part I was gonna ask
Yeah,
about,
so
what this.
under zoning, we're including it, and that's a significant number for this project. The difference between the building wall footprint and the roof overhang is 572 square feet.
Okay, this one says the dwelling paren roof in the outer aura is 294 square feet. So that's, I'm having trouble figuring out the 75%, going from 30% to 75%. I'm thinking it's mostly driveway, but your driveway number isn't significantly more than what exists. So how are we getting to 75?
Well, the walkways, the walls,
Yeah, but
Is-
the total of existing is 792 square feet. The total for the proposed is 1953. So, yeah, you are increasing by 1,200, and that's going to put you up 45%?
it all adds
Okay.
up, yeah.
All right,
Yep. And I can get you the number that excludes the roof overhang.
I think, because the roof overhang isn't really something, at least I haven't dealt with since I've been on the commission, so I don't know.
Typically on a house,
Yeah,
roof overhangs 18 inches, more or less, and we never count that. But in our zoning bylaw, if it exceeds, what's it, 2 feet? 2 feet, it now becomes part of the building footprint.
Right.
In which we have to
Okay.
meet dimensional setbacks and building coverage. That's why we included it. But in reality, it's not what's occupying the ground.
okay.
But you said, what's the square footage?
So what would it equal?
572 square.
That's what he said he will.
Okay,
I
so,
said,
so 572 square feet of the building coverage number is the roof overhang.
But I don't know.
what would that
percentage-
reduce it to?
So
But I don't
we'll
know,
subtract 600 from the
Yeah, but most of that seems to be in the 0 to 50,
Yes.
because that number is total with the roof,
Correct.
2480. In the 50 to 100, it's only 294 square
right, so
feet.
it'll be a proportion.
So it's not going to make a huge difference. I mean, I would rather see it, the coverage without this roof part,
Yeah, and the-
because that.
The other reason why that number is high is that we're moving the building out of the floodplain with
Oh,
500 and some
and I
odd
get
square
it.
feet.
Right now, I was just questioning the 75%, because we have, our regs say 35% coverage, and that is significantly higher. So I'm
it just-
trying to justify going that high, and I'm just trying to figure that out. So,
The other thing to look at along those lines is that the lot itself is, let me find the number here,
Extremely small.
it's almost totally in the, well,
is 11,700 square feet. And of that number, 2,500 square feet or so is the 50 to 100.
Right.
So we're going to be in one area or the other.
Oh, I
And
know.
so, like I said, we're trying to get it away from the floodplain as much as possible.
right,
And the entire lot is within the or the floodplain.
right.
So there's no place to go.
Oh, no, I get it. I just,
Yeah.
it's a huge number, percentage-wise. So I'm going to turn it over to everybody
Well,
else, and then I'll get to if
I just,
they're not asked.
I want to
Go ahead,
follow up
Janet.
on that, because this is so confusing.
Well, that's one of the problems with using a percentage, is it's a huge percentage, but it's a very small lot, and it's a small area on the lot,
Well, on that point,
okay?
so these are two lots, right? We have the Taylor's Pond and the Cockle Cove lot. Are they going to be, so they've been under common ownership?
No,
No,
They're not.
not,
Will they be?
no.
Oh. So because they can't be?
You'll have to come up to a mic if you're going to speak, unfortunately. Sorry. So
Yeah, so this is-
either
it's
that
very-
or let one of them answer that
It's
for.
it's just difficult to parse this with only dealing with the Taylor's Pond today and holding off on the Cockle Cove. Most of the impact on the Cockle Cove side of things is outside of our jurisdiction. So, I'm trying to figure out what difference it would make. It would make a huge difference if they were combined. Suddenly, the percentages would all be well within, I would suspect, within our requirements. But that's not gonna, that's a legal change that would take a while perhaps to work out, so.
Yeah, there are structural bylaw issues that would prevent the project from moving forward if we combine the lots.
Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to, that's part of the reason that I'm struggling with it is that, yes, the Taylor's Pond lot is very constricted. It's all in regulated area. That's not true for the Cockle Cove, but that's just what we've got. The stairs that are proposed next to the tapered retaining wall, where do they go to?
that's a great question.
I'm sorry, what
The
was,
stairs, there is a proposed stairway next to the tapering retaining
east side
wall.
of the house.
On the east side of the house, kind of between the guest house and the main house.
so the Rybeck family also owns the house to the north?
That's what I figured.
Aha.
So we're providing access.
And that's,
Is there a
that
path,
is
an
right
existing
where that
path,
path
or is there
is.
a walkway?
There was a walkway over there.
But it's closer to.
I think it's in a different spot, these
closer to the
stairs.
existing structure.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little
Okay.
bit farther to the west, but we would make that connection.
I'm sorry,
Okay, but but none of that is within this, the legal description of this parcel, so it would not be relevant for this matter. Okay, just struck me. Okay. I'm gonna go back and look at my questions with all of that in mind, and let somebody else ask.
anybody? I have a few, but I was hoping others. All right, the rinse station. Now you've heard my whole thing with rinse stations and NDZ, and there it is again. So is there any way to move it closer to the 50 line? I mean,
Where is it?
it's north, and it's below that first zigzag retaining wall.
Yeah, no, we can see it. I mean,
Could you move it
I didn't see that.
to the east? I am assuming the north is what I'm looking at, so that's east.
Yeah, okay.
It's right next to the AC. And then, because you have so much coverage, is there any way that the driveway, which is a large part of your coverage, the way I see it, at least what I'm reading. Can we cut that down? That would help with your numbers. Just a thought.
I have something to say when you're done.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Mr. Ryback, who's present today, has limited mobility,
Right.
but we'll be happy to look at that to see what we can do, providing, making sure he has adequate access, but also see if we can reduce that area.
Yeah, it seems like it's very wide going to the other Cockle Cove lot, and it's very wide the east side of it, which is, I think, over the, whatever that is. I assume that that's the septic
Yeah.
leach field.
Yep.
It just, if we could, if there are ways to cut something back, that would be, that's one spot that I think,
Something from the landscape.
I have a,
yeah,
We'll
we
have to,
haven't gotten, I haven't even gotten there. Thank you,
Yeah, so
Janet.
part-
While we're talking about driveway.
part of that, Mike Segan would be dealing with, but we'll review that with him as well.
Okay, and what material is the driveway? I didn't see it in the notes or anything that said, is it,
Yeah, so Mike,
Is
what
it-
material is the driveway, Mike?
Yeah, it's a dry laid copple material that should be pervious. The joints will be a little wider to make it pervious. The existing driveway is an asphalt, a rolled gravel, so it's from an infiltration point of view, it's a big improvement over that existing driveway.
okay. Thank you. Anybody else? Eric?
yeah, moving the house back was a nice mitigation. If you subtract the overhang and then half the house, to figure the adding, I mean, 500 square feet is not, it's not a big on the structure. If you remove the square footage of the overhang, that's out of the 50, and then also, if you remove the increase of the house, that's out of the 50, and subtract it off this, it might look a little better, but on the stairway, wouldn't it?
Which one?
The stairway going to the house in the north, to reduce some of the square footage of impervious, why can't you have the stairway further, it would be west, where the other one was, and then you wouldn't have to have two walls lining each side of the stairway to go to the house in the north. You would just have a gentle stairway. It's a nice incline where it used to be more to the corner, to the, let's say, the northeast corner was kind of a little bit west of that, the original, and just have a stairway there, and then I think you would reduce a lot of square footage on impervious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we did
can
think
look
about-
at that, I mean, but the way they've developed the landscape plan,
The only thing, the reason why I'm saying that, Bill, is because I'm getting the feel that, there's a little concern about the amount of percentage you're using up, the 50 to the 100. That's the sense I'm getting.
It's good sense.
I'm just trying to figure out
interesting
ways, I'm just trying to figure out ways that you could still function with the mobility issue and then reduce a lot of square, well, not a lot, but it'll be a pretty good chunk that you reduce.
every
Because
little
then you
bit
wouldn't need
helps.
two walls on either side of the stairway going up. You only need one, and that's to maintain the garage end of it, or that's what you're calling it, apartment.
It's a dwelling,
okay, no, yeah, we'll look at it.
okay. Anyone else? Bob?
Are you gonna have any formal lawn areas?
Mike, that's a question for you.
No, we've pretty much, especially on 22 Taylor Road parcel, we've eliminated pretty much all the lawn. There's a sort of a native lawn with a lot of fescue for that 3-foot wide path just to get around the house, and that'll be a really roughly mowed, not on a regular basis, on a, just again, to provide access around the house and to the back planted areas, native areas. So there's almost no lawn, and that's sort of one of the reasons why the driveway is as big as it is. Right now, when there's gatherings, people park on the lawn because there's a lot of, maintained lawn around the house. And Taylor's Pond Road is not a good road to park on as well. So just a little background of why it's the size it is. They also park the boat in that area as well in the fall and winter time. So it's also to accommodate that as well.
Okay, how about permanent irrigation around the plantings?
The intent is just to irrigate on a temporary basis for 2 to 3 years, and then remove the irrigation once the plants are established.
So no drip irrigation or anything like that?
That's not the intent. I didn't think the regulations allowed that.
Right,
No.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, in the mitigation area, you want to cut down some pines. Actually, there are 3 pines, a 10-inch, a 4-inch, and a 6-inch.
6-inch.
What's the rationale to remove those?
If I showed you a picture of them, I don't know if you were out there. If I showed you a picture of them, you would understand why. They look like they were covered by bittersweet or some vine, and the vine was removed, and that's what was left. There's one. I think that's the better looking one. But they're in very, very poor condition and mostly dead.
Yeah. Was there any thinking about just cutting the tops off and just leaving the trunks?
Well, that'd be attractive.
It is for the
Yeah.
wildlife.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
people have to live there too.
Well, it can be screened, but snags
Yeah,
have
and
great value.
This is the area where the shrub meadow is going to be. So we certainly could do that. The
Well,
top
we'll
is the only
discuss it,
living part.
Mike, we'll discuss it with Dean and his family.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Right, I think he's still.
Bob, are you done?
I think so for now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Janet?
So following up, the 16-inch oak and the 16-inch pine to the south side of the garage guest area, why are they slated for removal?
Are they on the Cockle Cove property?
No?
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
are in
'cause
Port
it's
Cockle
Lake Gray.
Crow.
Okay.
This is,
Oh, okay, we have to wait.
that's why,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You might want to think about them.
yes.
Yes,
You may want
we
to
will.
think about those for the next meeting, for the next property. Next time. Anything
Okay.
else, Janet?
No, that's it.
Anything, anybody? Elise, Paul?
All mine were hit.
Okay. So, anything, Eric? Seems we have a lot of things that you're going to discuss with him, including, oh, I do have one more. I don't believe oak leaf hydrangeas are native.
They're not.
And you have 53 of those. I'm hoping that those are some of what you're planning to remove from the next plan.
Did you hear that, Mike?
Yeah, I did. I believe oak leaf is on your list of native
I couldn't,
hydrangea.
let me put this, I couldn't find it on the one list that we provide on our site.
Certainly not peewee oak leaf.
Yeah, and peewee
Sounds
like a
oak leaf
the
is
cultivar
a
is-
cultivar.
Yeah, the
So,
cultivar is
and there's quite a
clearly
few of
not.
them. And I
no.
understand why, but
Yeah.
at the same time, we have to follow our regs.
Yeah,
So we're going to have that looked at. You're taking out the cultivars. You are evaluating the stairs to the north and whether
Right.
they can be moved. Evaluating whether you can cut back the drive, and if you would specify the material either in the notes or on the plan, that would be terrific. I'd also love it if you could add the word and site plan and sewage disposal plan, so that we know it's site as well. You're going to look at where the rinse station is. You're going to take out the roof overhang for the calculations. And consider snags, and maybe in the notes, Mike, if you could put that there will be no permanent irrigation anywhere, I would appreciate it. Even though that's in our regs and we don't allow it, it's always nice to have it on the plan. Anybody
we
think
do,
of anything
we do,
else?
we,
Yes.
we do state that on the plan, just so you know.
Okay, you do. I hadn't
Yes.
checked. I just figured since it
Yep.
was just brought up. Perfect. Does anybody have anything I missed? All right, so we obviously need to continue this, and you're going to ZBA on the 28th of August, I have
Right.
down. I hope that's correct.
That's correct.
Okay, so,
Can you squeeze us in somewhere?
September 10th.
well, doesn't make a huge amount of difference. I mean, if you want to appear the 27th, but then we're not going to have an order, if everything were set.
We wouldn't want an order on the 27th.
Right, you wouldn't get an order on the 27th, but you wouldn't have one until September anyway. But do you want to meet before ZBA, or do you want to wait until after?
It's worth one more meeting with them before ZBA.
Well, we have substantial questions, it seems to me, that we have to discuss with the family.
Right, that's
And
why.
we'd like to know, hopefully, at the end of our next meeting, that
It's approvable.
it's approvable, and so if we could do it on the 27th, that would be great.
Okay,
Is the ZBA hearing on both parcels or just?
No,
22.
just 22.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no zoning issue on the,
the only
Lot
thing I'll
four.
say about the
Okay.
27th is that right now, we're pretty open, and hopefully we can keep it down to a minimum, but if it gets too heavy, we're going to have to limit time.
well, what we'll do is,
Right,
we'll discuss these things with the family, and we'll try to submit something well in advance of that meeting.
perfect. Okay, and I do appreciate that you did already apply to ZBA, so thank you, because that does make our life a little bit easier in figuring out future. So thank you very much on that. If we could have a motion,
Yeah, I move that we continue 22 Taylor's Pond Road to August 27th.
Second.
Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Janet,
Aye.
Elise,
Aye.
and I say aye.
Thank you very much.
See you the 27th, thank you. Okay, Paul W.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next on the agenda is 91 Gillis Road. It's a notice of intent. Catherine and Billy Kyle, map 4B, parcel 3, CG4, DEP number SE 103738. The applicants propose to remove and relocate an existing family dwelling off the property and rebuild a new dwelling, install new Title V innovative IA system and all associated landscaping mitigation and restoration plantings, grading, and appurtenances. It's a new application. It needs ZBA. The applicants requested a continuance to August 13th, 2025.
Great.
I move that we continue 91 Gillis Road to August 13th, 2025.
Second.
Okay, Elise,
Aye.
Janet. Aye. Paul,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
and I say aye. Okay, the next, Paul W.
Next on the agenda, Madam Chair, is another North 10, Easy of Easy Street. I hope this is going to be easy. Easy Street Association, no map and parcels listed, SE 103745. Proposed reconstruction of existing permanent beach access stairs. This is a new application, no ZBA is required, and you have a memorandum from Catherine Ricks, the coastal.
Yes, I have that, and I will read it after you do your presentation, so thank you.
Thank you. For the record, Mark Burgess of Shorefront Consulting. Paul?
No, I'm just, never mind, go ahead.
Oh.
That's to get the plan up.
Oh,
He-
okay.
He likes to wave to them.
I can wait. Do you want
No,
me-
you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I was involved in this project over 10 years ago when they had the beach nourishment and fiber rolls for shorefront protection and all of that. The applicants have continued a very good stewardship of the property and have nourished it and all of that. We got a certificate of compliance for the nourishment work about maybe last year sometime. So all that's behind us. And at the time, we had asked for like administrative approval of the stairs to replace them, and it came back as a notice of intent. So that's the meaning of my presence today. So it's actually really simple. The stairs are being replaced in kind in the same footprint. There are some rocks at the base that during the COC application, we promised that they would be removed, and they are in this application now to remove them. The stairs will just have to be angled a little bit differently to reach the beach in the same footprint, seagull's view, if you will, overhead view. Stello Construction is teed up to do this work, and that really is, that's it. It's just replacing them in the same footprint. There was a comment letter from Catherine, which I can address if you have questions.
Sure, but I will read it into the record first.
Okay.
So, are you all set? Okay.
yeah.
So Catherine did send us a letter pertaining to this project. It says, "I have reviewed the plans for the proposed replacement of the stairs in kind at the end of Easy Street, Chatham. The beach access stairs are proposed to be replaced in kind with no change to design. The rocks that were placed within the coastal beach are proposed to be removed. The existing stairs are also against the coastal bank with no room for light below for any chance of vegetation. The existing stairs are permanent and impacted by storm waves and storm tides. I would recommend elevated stairway to allow for beach grass to grow. There is beach grass just adjacent to the stairs to the east, which can migrate through the property if the stairs are not obstructing the migration. I also recommend that the stairs are seasonal, removed over the winter when there is greater chance of coastal storms and impacts to the structures along the shoreline. Seasonal stairs remove the potential for storm debris as well as reduce the wear and tear of the stairs and maintenance for the owners. The elevation and seasonal aspects of the stairs could lead to a greater chance for vegetation along the bank, which assists in the stability of the bank as well." So that was her comments, and now if you would comment on that.
Her comments. Yes, I'd be happy to. First, the stairs were permitted as permanent, and there's no request to make them to seasonal. The applicant lives there year-round, and he wants access to the beach year-round. The current stairs have been there for quite a while, so like decades. So while they are exposed to some storm wave energy or high tides as such, they've endured that to the point that they're now just no longer usable. So they're proposed to be replaced in kind, same function, with no change in that, respectfully. The ongoing nourishment is placed along the whole bank and under the stairs. And the stairs are elevated. It's just that the nourishment is nourished up to the stairs so that it's right under them. They could change, to not put as much nourishment under the stairs if you wish. I think that, that's a reasonable solution, but the stairs are proposed to be elevated. If a storm comes by and removes all that sand, which it does almost every year, but about every other year, then, those posts are going the posts are going 6 feet in the ground, and the stairs are like 6 feet above that at the top of the bank. So it is designed as an elevated staircase. It's just that the nourishment is nourished up to the stairs, not the stairs pushed down onto the ground, if that makes sense. There is some beach grass next door. It's a different property, and the beach grass hasn't migrated to the site, I'm assuming because it gets eroded and renourished. So any plantings on the face of this, and there's pictures in the file, but any plantings on the face of this sand aren't going to be around long enough to get established. And beach grass takes, 3 years? I don't think this site's ever survived 3 years without needing renourishment. So it's a great idea, but the stuff that is working is on another property next door. And that was it. Elevation, beach grass, and permanent, I believe. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions, comments?
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I'll
Eric.
go. I believe if it was originally permitted to be permanent, I think you have every right to do it. I know it's not part of this, but when do you plan on nourishing that bank? And again, I know that the beach grass doesn't take, it's impossible, but is there a time where you're gonna, I know it's not connected to this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. When is the next scheduled nourishment of the bank?
I think it's, I don't have the COC in my head, but I believe it's now based on it's always been based on a trigger point.
Well, it's triggered. I mean, it's pretty triggered right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was just out there like 2 weeks ago.
Well, it's pretty eroded if you're looking at the water on the right-hand side. It's right up to pretty much right up to the bank. But in any case, I'm sure you'd probably do it each year. You probably have to do it once a year.
Just about.
Yeah.
This past year was the first year in a while that I remember. I wasn't involved in the renourishment, but they basically plan on doing it every year. They got by this year without having to do it.
And
So it's different than the pictures that I took in the file now?
I was there with Paul, and I mean, there was
much
a lot of scarping going on in that banking. I mean, it was it was hit pretty hard.
Okay, well, and nature has done something since I was there last.
Well, anyway, I'm sure you're gonna nourish it.
Yeah, that's an ongoing condition as part of the certificate of compliance.
Now, the third thing I wonder is who is using a chipper, a golf club and hitting balls in the water?
Yeah.
There's a big bucket.
There's a big bucket of
I
balls.
mean, you wouldn't want to leave that there when you know we're coming to do a site
No, that's not a
visit.
good idea.
It's not a good
I
idea.
have no idea.
Well, someone is. There's a whole basket, and the club is still sitting there leaning against the fence. So obviously, I mean, I mean, for someone that lives right there, wants to nourish it and do the right thing, and they're hitting golf balls in the water. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm with you. I have no idea. I'll certainly mention it to the applicant. There's 3 or 4 people that,
Well, one of the 4.
yeah, one of the 4 is a golfer, apparently. I will talk to them. I promise.
Okay, thank you.
What's that?
So I just want to follow up with why is this site different? Is it particularly vulnerable to storm activity, that beach grass, which we see planted on steep dunes all over the place, and do a fairly good job because their root systems are so long of holding it rather than having the constant renourishment and it's a barren bank? When there's beach grass on the other side that's growing very well.
Yeah, that's why they have to do it every year for the history that I know on that. It just gets battered on that side of the stairway. I mean, the other
That is
ones,
so weird.
the other side does okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the sand just doesn't stay, and of course, the beach grass, they've tried it, and it just gets washed away when they try it.
I agree. I think the angle of the shoreline for the property next door is more of a glancing blow,
Yeah.
whereas it starts to bend around on this site, so it gets more of a direct
Not
hit.
here.
It's just always been that way. That was the reason for doing the fiber roll project 10 plus years ago.
That's the stones.
Anybody else?
I gotta, yeah, so this bank here, does this have fiber rolls?
Mm-hmm.
It does,
Yep.
but yet it erodes a lot faster than the other one adjacent
Some
to it.
erosion
I'm just wondering if you added a little bit more fiber rolls and planted beach grass around those stairs, would the beach grass hold?
And then this is.
No, because, so the fiber rolls are what I call the second line of defense.
CRC, so
The fiber rolls are buried,
November 20.
and the reason they're there is so that if, or we know when, all the nourishment gets taken away, that further erosion doesn't happen behind them. So you have to keep fiber rolls covered anyway. That's the only way they really survive long-term, which they have. So adding more fiber rolls that are still buried isn't gonna help the chance of any beach grass growing there. It's just too active a site.
And by planting beach grass, you don't think it's gonna survive?
The sand would have to stay untouched for about 3 years, and even then, the next storm would still probably just wipe it all out.
When were these pictures taken?
I took those. Sometimes I put the date at the bottom. So you see how the nourishment is nice and even?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's why I was asking you.
yeah. I took those pictures when just before I filed, so they're as recent as I've ever been there. And those are the stones that are gonna be removed.
July. So this is like June.
So it looks much different.
When did you file?
Say again?
A few weeks
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, they do.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it must have got hammered sometime on a storm. I mean, it's hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
Huh, okay, well, Mother Nature at her best work. When did I file? July 8th I filed. So those pictures were probably taken a week before that? Huh, okay. I haven't been to, other than the certificate of compliance a year ago, I haven't been to the site in 10 years.
I have one more question.
Go ahead.
I have one more question, Mark.
Sure.
I noticed in the two things that you say in the narrative got my attention. One is that the stones were placed there because the elevation of the beach had dropped. Do you have any idea what's causing that? I mean, if you have all this sand on this coming down, you wouldn't expect an elevation drop.
Sometimes Mother Nature takes more than what you put out there. And if they hadn't been nourishing all these years, then it would be even lower. But yeah, that was the reason. And what's funny is I measured the marsh, and it was surveyed, but I measured the marsh, and it has not changed in the 10 years since I've been here. So it hasn't increased, but it hasn't decreased, and it's exactly the same distance from the shoreline. And I know that's sensitive to beach elevation, but that's about 16 feet away from the marsh, the base of the stairs. And so the beach looks like it dropped in that area, and that's what they needed the stones to, instead of jumping off the end, but we're gonna fix that. Or, well, Stello is gonna fix it. I'm not banging any hammers.
Okay. Anything else? So what I'm hearing is that since it's permanent, it is permanent, and he wants to use this all year long, that you do not support the suggestion from Catherine that it be seasonal. What is, I know you're replacing the stairs in kind. It's going to be wood?
Yeah, I
Okay.
told, in the plan, I think I said 6x6 posts this time to make sure it's robust.
Okay. Certainly seems as though, please ask him to get the bucket of balls and the club out of there.
I promise.
We will be putting in that they shouldn't be there and you shouldn't be hitting balls into the water. You said you don't think more fiber rolls work. It seems the beach grass isn't gonna work.
Yeah, the sand is over the fiber rolls, so,
Yeah, and that this quote-unquote is an elevated stairway.
But the plan doesn't show it that way.
No.
The
I agree.
the view of the plan shows it sitting at grade.
I agree, because those were the conditions when I was there.
Right, but there doesn't,
I bet
you
if
know,
I go out
replacing
there-
it in kind doesn't mean that you have to repeat something that may or may not be. Scroll
Yeah.
down, Paul, to below, down to
Yeah.
where, there you go. No, yeah,
No.
that's it.
Right, because those were the elevations at the time of the
Right.
survey,
Right.
which is what I have to report.
But if you're not gonna plant anything under there, is there any reason to elevate them other than to obviate the risk that they get swallowed by?
Well, the idea is to leave them where they are so that you can continue to nourish underneath them. They wouldn't, so we hadn't
Said it
proposed
would
any
nourish
change.
right up to the stairs, so how are you nourishing underneath them because it's right up to the stairs?
Yeah, I think that the nourishment goes under the stairs too. I mean, they can push it.
Oh, you're saying if it erodes?
Yeah.
If it leaves,
Yeah,
okay.
the idea is to just keep doing exactly what they've been doing all these years.
Yeah, you dump it over
Right.
the hill and you shovel
I
it in.
get that, but we normally require that they be elevated and planted beneath, but there's no
Right.
planting on top of these fiber rolls.
No.
This is a rare instance where I guess we didn't require it at the time.
Well, a lot of fiber roll projects, you'll see them covered with maybe a veneer
Yes?
and then planted, and then, of course, the area above planted. That wasn't the way this project was, the previous project was designed. It was, as I say, the fiber rolls were your second line of defense so that when that sand left,
Right.
it wouldn't take more of the bank. So you'd be planting underground. I mean, it's just the way this particular project works.
I understand this one is unique.
Thank you.
Although, is it, you have top of the bank and bottom of the bank at the same point? Just don't think that's, can you scroll up? Paul?
Well, no, there's a
In
spread.
the, up, there, the two reds on the right side, top of bank, bottom of bank, are both pointing to,
Oh, well, okay, bottom of bank eroded.
down,
So when it's eroded, it's vertical.
okay, so
You
this
could-
says,
I know, the top of the bank kind of stays, unless the top of the bank gets eroded, it kind of stays there all the
Right.
time.
Right, right.
But the bottom of the bank is going to move back and forth as it erodes, so that's why it's like that. If you saw the pictures from from 10 years ago, it was vertical. So that was the reason for that.
The one that has the grasses in it.
yeah,
A little unique, I agree.
I just, it hits me as illogical that we wouldn't try to plant something to protect that bank. And I'm looking at the picture from 10 years, is that the 10-year ago?
this was with COC, so this was, no, 2023.
To not try, because that bank is just a bare bunch of sand that's ready to go down the hill and go back and back and back. It's against my thought process that we wouldn't try to plant something there and see if it took.
I understand, and as Mr. Hilbert pointed out, the sand's already gone from when I was there weeks ago. I'll go back there on my way home and take a look.
It's a cliff, it's scarped really hard.
Wow.
Would not an erosion control blanket on top of that sand help to keep it?
You can try. You're not gonna really stop the water, but you can, you could try, or do an experiment, do under the stairs and maybe 4 or 5 feet, south of the stairs, and try a patch and see how it holds up, but it looks to me like it just gets washed away every year, and you just refurbish it with sand every year.
If the sand,
I've seen this done before, that's all.
yeah, if
But
you,
you could try an area, go under the stairs and go 4 or 5 feet, down the, off the stairs and see how it works. It doesn't, not that hard.
Here, I'm looking at
yeah, I get it. If you do a blanket or anything like that, how would you anchor it? Because when nature removes that sand, it's all going out to sea with
Well, yeah, then
the
you'll have the
staples
blanket
and,
on the beach.
yeah, with the staples and the blanket and everything you put there is just gonna all get washed out.
Well, without the blanket, you could try, since they're, compromising on the stairs, maybe you can just beach grass under the stairs and,
other stuff down.
and see how it works, just do an experiment, see how it goes, and if it washed away, you can say, here, I told you so, that's why we can't do it,
Everywhere.
it doesn't cost that much.
Yeah,
I mean, we could, but,
that's not unfair.
I mean, they're just.
I think we both know what's gonna happen, but
I
sometimes,
feel a little bit over.
I think that's what I could say, rather than doing the whole bank.
yeah.
Try to see how it goes.
All right.
So,
Well, I think the question of whether
Yeah.
there's anything further to be done to control the erosion of the bank and whether planting or.
think, yeah.
Was asked and answered when we issued the COC for that fiber roll project. I mean, we didn't require it, so I don't know that, I mean, whoever, I mean, there must have been good sense, and I understand that this is a unique property that,
Well, you could require it under the stairs, because you're putting a new stairway
yeah,
in.
you could,
Yeah,
but not on the rest of the
and it would
building.
be a good experiment to see how it goes.
So do we want him to come back with a plan that shows us that that's what they're going to do and approve that and say then we can go to an order? Or do we say we can go to an order with hopefully a new plan coming in, which it should, before the order is dealt with, and then we can continue? I think we definitely, I don't want to ignore what Catherine said, and I don't want to ignore what we have always done. So I think we could move it to an order like for September, and, September 10th, and you get us a new plan before that reflects that there's going to be beach grass under it, and it's going to be elevated more than it's elevated now, because it's right up against everything.
Well, let me rephrase. I don't want to change the elevation of the stairs because they match the top and the bottom of the bank. What we want to do is reduce the amount of nourishment underneath,
Right,
go backwards.
exactly. Well, what I'm saying is so that there's space.
Yes.
So that it truly is an elevated stairway.
18
not
inches.
an elevated stairway that we see is sitting on sand.
Yep.
Let's not forget the surveillance team, watch for the bucket of
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
balls.
remove
Oh, yeah.
those balls.
So, and if you'd put a note saying that there will be no golf balls and clubs and hitting into water.
Well, I don't want to put that on the plan, but you can put it as a
No, we'll
special
put it in the
condition
order.
if
We're
you
going to
want.
put it, so we could go to an order on September 10th if you'd like.
Karen, can I say one more thing?
Yes.
I'm reading the original approved order of conditions, and special condition number 1, all disturbed areas are to be permanently revegetated as soon as possible during and after construction. There's no vegetation.
What order is that?
So why was, it was 1994.
Order for the stairway.
There must have been vegetation there at some point if that's special condition number 1. So my brain tells me, I don't know.
We need
It just,
vegetation.
it bothers me that we're not going to even try to do vegetation.
Right, so I think
So
that's
we're
what
gonna
we've
try.
said is that
Do
he
it.
has to come back with that plan.
Okay.
But I think we can go to an order on September 10th, and if you would get that into us indicating that beach grass will go underneath, and, some of the nourishment will be taken out, so it truly is an elevated stairway. Is everybody good? All right.
Well, or elevate the stairway. I don't know if that makes sense
Yeah.
to take out the nourishment under there. 'Cause Now
Exactly.
you have a dip underneath on that
Exactly.
bank.
That's
and that
why
would
I
be-
said
that would-
elevate, but he
yeah.
said that changes everything for,
Yeah, because
What does
the
that
top
do?
of the stairs meets the level portion of the bank. If I raise it up, now you've got stairs up to go over and down, that's just a mess. And it's a much larger, taller structure. So, I mean, Mr. Hilbert has alluded to
Easy
the
now,
fact.
easy does it.
No, no, well,
trouble.
I'm not throwing, there's no bus in the room, don't worry. He's alluded to the fact that Mother Nature's already lowered it in that area, so we can, we can say that the area under the stairs, and these can all be covered with conditions, the area under the stairs shall maintain no more than, or no more than 18 inches of clearance, or
At least, yeah.
it will maintain at least 18 inches of clearance underneath. We'll plant like a 5-foot strip, is that okay? And I'll just show you a little detail of some jute.
What is the current width? About 30 inches, it looked like? Is
The
that-
stairs are narrow, they're not your
They're
average.
not narrow. I mean, they are narrow, so
Yeah.
they're 24 to 30. I thought, about 30?
Yeah, I might have drawn them 3 feet on the plan. If we could go 3 feet, that would be cool.
But is that in kind?
Well, you're in kind,
You're
so
saying
whatever
it's
they
in
are.
kind, so you can't increase
In the same
width.
footprint.
They look like
know.
about
The
32-inch
same
steps.
footprint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't change.
Okay, they've used them for 30 years, so we'll just keep
Yeah,
doing it.
it's in kind. Otherwise, we get into now, you've got more coverage and,
Right.
you're opening a can of worms,
Right.
so to speak. So, all right, we will go for an order on the 10th. You will get something into us as soon as possible, and we will, once the order's written before that, we will send it to you, and we'll see how that goes.
Is September 10th is outside of any 21 days, right? How come it's so long to do it?
We only have 2 meetings a month.
Yep.
And our next meeting is August 27th. We've
so you
already
don't-
got,
You don't close it tonight, then?
No, we don't close it.
we don't close them until we approve the order.
Okay. And that's when the 21
The
days.
issue is that we already have, I think now, 5 orders for the 27th. And that's quite a bit, as well as many properties. And at this point, we're probably limiting time on that day.
Yeah,
And I don't
get it
think
now.
you
I
want the
understand.
time limited. So we're trying to give everybody their time to discuss and deal with things. And so we're working on making this work. Does that work for you?
Yeah, now I understand why. I
Okay.
wasn't sure. So
All right.
I'll give you a revised
If
plan
we
that
could
shows
have
like a
a
5-foot
motion?
width with some jute and staples and grass planting, and
Right,
go for it and see what happens.
Thank you.
great, thank
Okay.
you. So,
Okay, I move that we continue end of Easy Street to September 10th, 2025 for an order of conditions.
Second.
all right, Elise?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. Okay, Paul W. next.
Okay, I'll just read the next one, which is a continuance, and then I've already put up the Cockle Cove COC. 325 Fox Hill Road, Eastwood Ho, map 10M-2-1, DEP number SE 103742. The project is proposed ADA accessibility and landscape improvements. The project is to include ADA accessibility ramps, retaining wall, patio, drainage improvements, and mitigation plantings. This is a new application, and the applicants requested a continuance to August 13th, 2025, because they need CBA approval pursuant to Thad Eldridge's new bylaw, which he wasn't aware of.
And hopefully they will apply before the 13th.
Yeah, I believe they're right on it.
So, okay, if we could have a motion.
I move that we continue 325 Fox Hill Road to August 13th, 2025.
Second.
Okay, Bob?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Elise?
Aye.
And I say aye.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The last item on the agenda before the minutes and adjournment will be 170 Cockle Cove Road. This is a request for a COC. The applicant is Living Trust AGMT and Myra C. Carrier, map 4D, parcel 55-T10, DEP number SE 10-1294. The proposed dock, this is for a proposed dock, which the order went out in 1995. The DEP approved it in 2006, I believe, and it was recorded within 6 months. I went out and visited it. The application is complete. This is just a very old, are you planning to rebuild this or something, or, no? Okay,
I think they're going to list the property at some point, but maybe I shouldn't have said that.
okay.
Okay.
Having said that, I don't know how many saw it, but, this is the only thing we have in the file that shows what was supposed to be constructed. There's no plan in the, order, so this is the 91 filing. You've got a floating dock, 3 by 26, and 90 feet of steps, and there is no, actually, the float's not out there, is it, Mark? I don't believe so.
There's no float.
But it was approved with a float, and there's an 8-inch fixed, 8-foot fixed dock. It's pretty old. I would recommend approval unless someone has an objection to it. There wasn't much in the order to go by. They had to raise it up to get people to be able to walk underneath it, which is a standard condition for the 91.
Second.
Okay, Elise?
Aye.
Janet? Aye. Paul?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. Okay, we move on to minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Last on the agenda before adjournment is minutes to be approved for June 11th, 2025, and June 25th, 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, and of course I closed it out. I think everybody was in attendance, so all we need to know is, does anybody have any modifications to anything? To either of them?
I got a question on 28 Stetson Cove Road,
Which minutes? Which minutes is it?
June 11th.
Okay.
I got a question. There are, a sentence reads, there are only 2 cedars being removed, all others are white poplar. So they're actually cutting down a couple of cedars? I thought they were gonna save a couple of cedars.
There are 2 dead cedars.
Oh,
Two dead
they're
ones.
not removed?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then on
I'm gonna
27.
say dead here, so that's clear, okay.
Okay.
Pretty much dead anyway.
27 Stetson Cove Road, the last sentence, it reads,
Some fill is needed for the patio. It isn't
It-
all even grade.
it is all
even
even grade
grade
around
around
the
the
house.
house?
I changed that to a level, it is all level, a level grade around the house.
Okay,
Got it.
Janet just got it.
And then, that's all I had on 611.
Okay, how about, anybody else for 611? How about 625?
I had,
Whoop, whoop, wait a minute.
I had something on that, if
Okay,
nobody else wants to go.
nope, go, you're on a roll, so go for it.
186 Cockle Cove Road.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah,
And
Oh, well,
in the
title.
In the description, yeah, title is spelled wrong.
Yep.
Title 5.
Karen, you're there, go ahead.
yep, you can see. Okay, done.
That's all I had, thank you.
Cool. Okay, anybody else? Okay, if we could have a motion to approve both sets of minutes, please.
I move that we approve the minutes from June 11th, 2025 and June 25th, 2025.
Second.
Okay, Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Janet,
Aye.
Elise,
Aye.
and I say aye. Okay, one more motion.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Okay, Elise.
Aye.
Janet.
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
and I say aye. We are done.
Thingy.